Well, hello there, it's Christine and welcome to my channel. Sorry it's been a while. What can I say? Life gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? Thank you for everyone who has left comments, messaged me and emailed me and liked and shared all those things. Today's card, as you can see here, is the Strength card, and we're going to be talking about the Strength card. It is number 11 in the Grimaud Tarot De Marseille deck and in most Tarot De Marseille decks, and the numerology of 11 is that of balance and ethical achievements. It's like a master number in numerology. Its astrological connection is Leo, which, putting with Leo as a fixed sign, I think determination is a word that comes up quickly. Maybe you have your own words that come up when you think of a Leo, because when we look at the card, she has the same hat. Well, obviously it's a woman. She has the same hat as the Magician has in the card number 1, the Magician. Where is he? And that is a Lamasque. Now when I see that, I sort of think of the nodes, and that is being able to sort of work within the cycles of life, because the nodes run put that there for now. You got that? Yep. They sort of circle round like that, and that is the energy of that, and that is these cycles that happen in they're cyclic. The blue is about strength of mind and determination, and the yellow is the success of that, and it's a success over calming the beast. I was thinking about this card because sometimes I sort of get ready to make this video and think about what I just draw a card and use the pendulum, and I sort of mull on it a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because when we look at this card, moving him aside, it comes after the 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So life can be up, life can be down, a sense of unpredictability. I was getting that all tongue-tied, I'm sorry. And it doesn't matter where you are here, she can be needed. The idea, now this is the thorns too, which represents being able to repel danger and having that confidence, because getting back to him, I will go back to him. These people in some contexts can be like the showman, a traveling showman that used to travel throughout Italy and Europe and even probably England in days gone by, and you had like your street magician, and then which we'll talk about him another day, and then you had the lady who was the mistress of the beast. Now the idea of women being strong is not a new one. In ancient times they were known as mistress of the beast. In some decks, I'm not sure which one, and I do have it but I can't remember the name of it, you often have the woman breaking a pillar, a concrete pillar, tipping it over, and that's the strength of being able to knock that over and also quickly catch it. And you'll find statues going right back to ancient civilizations in Mesopotamia. If you look at Wikipedia, as far as women and beasts and women running with lions and whatnot. So I'll put the link in the description thing, just so you can then go to Wikipedia and have a look. It's Ptonia Theron. I needed to have some notes because I thought that would be a little bit of a mouthful. So this image itself goes back also, like as I said, to traveling circuses and troops and things, and female entertainers and lions. So this card here is life's ups and downs, which I'll go to in another video, or we can touch on it here. Uncertainty, like never know where you are on the wheel of life or who's turning the handle, to being able to face the developments of this with courage, because this is a card of endurance. For me, she's also a healer, and often turns up in readings when the client might be working as an alternative healer, a counsellor, a doctor, even a vet, giving support to others while allowing healing and relationships to grow is what this card can be all about with that. And the thing that had me, because you know how I like to look at what she is then before and what she faces. So she turns her back on the ups and downs of life, and she has the confidence to know in any situation she can hold her space and stand firm, and knowing that she has to be in control of the outer influences, and that's the lines in there, but use her inner control to manage outer experiences that happen to us, things that happen to us in life, in this uncertainty stuff here, which can happen for good or bad. Because sometimes we assume that this wheel's going to turn for the bad, but just say the wheel turned and you were fortunate and you won $2 million. Now that sounds great on one level, but on another level it can bring a set of problems that you may not have anticipated, and you would still need her endurance to be able to do the right thing, to be able to calm and center yourself, to be able to deal with the trappings that comes with having a lot of money instantly. So not always good or bad, everything, there's no good or bad actually, it's just how we handle it. So there she goes there. And then I was thinking about her facing the Hanged Man and thinking, well, why is she before him? And how do you get to that? And it made me think that often in a reading, when this card comes up, you sort of say to the person, well, recovery, or you're going to get through your difficulty, is going to happen, but you're going to need to sort of have some stamina and self-control to be able to sort of ride these waves, to be able to have the healing or the life settle down, or to get through with whatever it is you're going through. And it's a time card, so it does happen, but there's effort required to make change. Sorry if you're getting traffic noise. This is it. I've got building happening all in my street all of a sudden, units and God knows what. So, which is not a bad thing, but it just, every now and then I get a cement truck roaring up there and there's nothing I can do about it. So maybe when we look at this, and I was sort of thinking about it, thinking, well, how does it move to that? How does it move to that? Well, maybe you have the difficulty and you've got the endurance and all that, and it is going to happen, but then maybe you've also got to have the endurance to reset that it may not be as a straight line. Things might start to heal and get better and improve and over time, but then you hit this and you hit this standstill, and you've got to reflect a little bit and change tact. And that can be even while you're here. She might think the lines, this is good, I just do this every day, not a piece of cake, calming the line using my endurance and my training and all those things I know to do, to find that this line is having a bad day and just may not go to plan. Something's upset the system, and you then have to look to this and go, well, I'm going to have to just pause in a split second and readjust my plans maybe. And that's where I think the Hangman comes. I'd love to know how you see this, because it had me sort of puzzled, because some of the cards flow along easy, and often when you're reading cards and you're in the momentum of reading and the energy of the person, because it's an energy give and take, even if they're not there and you're doing it on Zoom or something, there's still a connection. Well, for me there is. It flows, and your intuition comes in, that and you end up sort of getting the intuition and the guidance that you need to flow onto the next card. But for the exercise of talking about this card and helping you learn them, if you're interested, to put him there, and I'm going, haven't had him turn up very often in a reading, to think what would happen. And I had to sort of mull on it a little bit, and then it come to me, without the energy of a reading and the under pressure stuff, because she's also that. Sometimes, I don't know, I've read a lot at markets and big expos and various different things, and I had my own New Age shop, but in the 90s. But I also, sometimes when that saying, sometimes we work best under pressure, there's an element to that in that card. And so you can have this epiphany hangman thing happen within a split moment. It doesn't necessarily have to be this long awaited strung up thing, that it can be sometimes in time. It can be you're sorting this out, and it can be a long time situation where you're going through a big a change in life, and it goes along, and you've had a consultation with someone, and they're going, yeah, it's all going to work the way you want it to. You're going to be you'll need discipline and all your spiritual needs, but what they will be tested, and you need to stand gently and firm. But life isn't a straight line, even when you are on track to be able to ride the waves of change. So that's when this may come in, and then you would in a either split second or over time need to reevaluate what you're going to do. So that's where I would put that in the sequence of the cards. But having said that, when you look at this card in the Rider-Waite system, which I don't know what's before it, I can't remember. This card would come after her. Is she 8? No, I'm not going to do this. Maybe he's 7. I can't remember in the Rider-Waite bit, but we'll just do it for next exercise. We'll just do a little read. Best thing to do is just flip through and see where she comes and how we would possibly, one way we can read her. So we'll pop her in there quickly with that, and cut them. Sorry, it's something I do out of habit. And then we'll go till we find her in the deck. She's hiding with him. Well, she come last, and she come after that. So after a time of uncertainty, you're going to find that you can stand your ground and center yourself and become calm, and life will go on. To what? Where does it go? So just, since the way it worked out, I'll just put a third card down. It's going to go on to balance, where what the practice that you're doing now to achieve what you're wanting to achieve, you'll be able to stop some of that. The regime you're doing, it might be a healing regime or a discipline with your finances regime, you'll be able to cut that out because balance will be restored. after a time of uncertainty, of not knowing. That's just a very rudimentary thing to read the cards, and everyone will read them differently, because I've been doing a lot of reading on symbolism and how books are written that this symbol means that and that symbol means the other thing and all the other thing. And symbols can have a general meaning that's been over time empirically, but then there's also what that means to you when you see it, and that's important too. And never underestimate what, when that card turns up for me, it means X, with all your symbolism, because for me, when this turns up, this sword cuts that out, or an element of that, because that's been restored, the balance. But that's how I read it. Or you can move them that after there's a sense of confusion and not knowing, and it's felt like, I don't know what to do, things aren't as what they seem about a situation. This is going to be able to cut that out, and it's going to go and be replaced with balance, but you will still have to continue on and maintain it, because that she's got that element of that effort and stuff. It's not just all wonderful in that sense. There's a sense of discipline, but with that comes healing and growth and sense of inner achievement, and a sense of being centered, in my opinion. So I'd love to know, and I'm hoping when you're watching these videos that you get the idea, because we're working with the 22 majors, that it's easy to get them and learn a card if you like, or play with a card. Let's hope it's play and fun, because you learn it all settles in better when it's enjoyable. And then you start shuffling, moving the cards around as I have, and that will help you learn to see where they're all looking, and the directions and the flow of color and whatnot, in the sense of conjoining the cards, reading in a flow instead of reading one card like, here is the death card, it is an ending, there's an ending coming. And it's coming in that sense, which I see a lot of readers read on YouTube, and that's fine, that's their style. But when I learnt to read, we didn't read one card and spew out the meaning, and then read one card like, there's the moon, and the moon means cloudiness, uncertainty, and then there is that and that. We just read it as a story. And when I used to go and see readers in my youth, be it playing cards or tarot or tea leaves, and both, they read it as a story. They didn't name the card even. That was how it was done. Maybe times have changed. Maybe I'm out of step. That's okay too. But I know what I like to do. I like it to be what's called conjunction in astrology, reading the planets in conjunct, being able to read the good with the bad, if you like, if to use those black and white terms, the malefic and the joyous, and making the blend and the most of each to give a what's called a fair and balanced reading, to be able to give either yourself hope or your client hope, or the person that you're reading for. But that's my take on it. I'd love to hear your take on it, and what you think about the idea of conjoining of the cards together. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.